my top 100 games of all time. We're in the top 20. It's about to get brutal here, folks. There's some games. I got former top 10 games here, about 3 of them. 3 of these games were top 10 games last year, but the competition's so hard that they had to be bumped out. I also got the highest ranked new game in my collection. We'll start with that first. Number 20. Folks, if you don't know this, when it comes to new games, I rank very conservatively because there's this thing I call cult of the new, right? Everyone calls it. It's new, it's shiny, we love it, it's number 1. I see this on everyone says, oh, I love it, it's a new game in my collection, it's in my top 10. And then the next year it's like number 97 or not even in their collection anymore because it got old. It doesn't stand the test of time. So I rank games very conservatively and then C. But even when I rank conservatively, they still sometimes don't meet expectations. This one, if you get into the top 20, you're doing good. So well done, Paris. You're the best game I've played this year. I am shocked. And the thing is, I don't always win. It's like 50-50 on winning this. And I love this game. As you were trying to take over buildings, get resources to buy other buildings, to move up, to move your status up. You're trying to get area control. And these, you're placing keys around the city to get money and then moving them into buildings or moving them up to newer buildings. The game is just so beautiful. And as you're taking these bonus actions, you're taking tiles. You can always go as far along as you want, but you can never go backwards. And so sometimes, if everyone's full ahead, you just pick up all the free, tiles people left behind. But you do want to jump ahead because there's some really good tiles at the end. And someone was very bold, made a big move, and took a tile away from me that would have won me the game. And I did not think they were going to be that bold. And they did it, and they knew what they had, and they did beat me out. It was so well done, because he knew the strategy I was going for. There's some in-game point tiles at the end, and he grabbed every one that I needed. And he didn't get that many victory points off of it, but I got 0. And he got enough to win. I love the expansion. The expansion, El Toile, or whatever it's called, makes the center, when you go into the center, you get 0 money, but your key can go anywhere on the board, and that's kind of nice. But still, no money? No thanks. And so we never went to the center. Now, when you go to the center, you start with a special action, but you can switch it out with any special action on the table. And there's different special actions for different strategies. And so now I see people going there at least once, sometimes twice, where they wouldn't go at all just to get that new ability. Maybe someone traded an ability in there. That's the one I wanted. And then they'll play it in the middle just to get that ability. And I love how that just enriches the game and enhances the game. I'll never play without it. The thing that I probably will never play with again, they have a little promo card. It came out just to raise money for shipping. And that's what I found out. So I'm not too mad at them for making it. But it's called the Balloon Ride. And it's not really worth it. In fact, I just don't see how it doesn't benefit the last person to play. Because, as long as they can pay more money than the previous player, they'll get a ton of victory points at the end. So you don't want to have that thing passing hands too long or last place, but it's a catch-up mechanism for last place. I don't know. Or going last, I should say. Not last place, but going last. So that one, that kind of fell flat. But the game as is perfect. Now, I got the deluxe edition, too. I traded for it, and this game had always been on my radar, and I kind of forgot about it after a couple of years, and then finally came back and went, oh, yeah, let me try that game out. This is the best game I have played in 2023. It's so great. I played a lot of games with this. I played this one more than any other new game in my collection. And again, I don't win that much either. It's like it really, literally is 50-50, but it's such a fun game. Paris, my number 20. Hey, folks, I think Stefan Feld has also hit his high point here with number 19 is Amerigo. Not many people talk when they talk about failed games here. Castles of Burgundy, Carpe Diem, a few other ones I can't remember. But for me, it's Amerigo. Dropping cubes in the cube tower, taking the actions. Going around the board, going around the island, gathering resources, gathering contracts, looking for them in-game points. There's just so much, making sure you have enough cannons to fend off the pirates every round. As they get harder and harder, you're going to need more cannons. Everything about this game, it's so much fun. It's so much fun to play. It takes nothing to teach people how to play it. I just taught some more people how to play this for the first time ever. We had a bunch of new people. I was at my nephew's house, and they had just tons of new people over who wanted to play. I was like, well, yeah, you guys can play this. And they picked it up after the first round. And like I said, so strategic. I do have the Queenies for this, but to be fair, I don't think I've used them. I don't think I've used any of the Queenies for this. You don't even need the Queenies for this. The game is that good. It is a super good game. And for me, it's Stefan Feld's best game. Hey, folks, here's the first tragedy. A former top 10 game has now fallen to number 18. But that's okay. It's still up first class. You can pick up first. I hope first class is still cheap to get. I know the little promo pack, or not promo packs, the actual expansion packs to play multiple different versions of the game are still around. They don't make anymore. They labeled them A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it stopped on G. And I really want an H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. I want all the letters. I don't know what all they can think to make this game better, but I played with most of the little modules. You can only shuffle 2 modules in, and we shuffled in a couple of them. And boy, whichever ones you pick, any of those combinations, can really change the game. Now, I'm very happy to say that we finally played with the magician, and someone, after it's been forever since someone used the magician, someone finally did the magician, because it can be good or bad, and it was good for them. But I love how we were playing this. I think we played this all one night. We just played first class all one night, several times that night. And I was thinking, wow, each game, each strategy changes because of what cards are out there. Again, I don't know. It may be a pretty penny to get these. I don't know. You have to order them overseas, but if you can find a copy with the modules in it, get it. Or just the base copy has plenty of different. I think the base copy comes with A, B, C, and D. So shuffling those in, you can have several different games, and it's such a fun game, such a fun train game. Not my favorite train game, but that one is for the top 10. Anyway, number 17 is a game that's been in my collection since almost the very beginning. Splendor. I love Splendor. You can hate all you want on it. A lot of people like the new Thanos version. I don't care about that, but regular Splendor's fine. Even though everyone in my gaming group has it, we still play this game a lot, and that's because I have Cities of Splendor. And so we played with, and I haven't really played with Cities of Splendor that much until this year, when everyone else got Splendor. All my other game group got Splendor, but they said, hey, we want to play Cities of Splendor, and now one of them has bought Cities of Splendor now. But it was nice playing it. I was this close. I'm still kind of this close to getting a player mat for it. I have the upgraded jewels. I don't have the little poker chips, which I think are awesome, but I have actual jewels now for it. I really blinged out this game a couple of years ago, and it's still fun. Yes, and we did. I think the rule is what you get to 15 to win. Our rule is 20 because we still want to play, and it's still just an incredible game. I think all but 1 year it's been in my top 20. I want to say, can I say that? Yeah, all but 1 year. It's always been a top 20 game. And like I said, even though my gaming group owns Splendor, we still played it. We played Cities of Splendor a lot, which I don't think you need Cities of Splendor, but I was happy to play it because, it was nice to have that little variety in there. But I don't see me ever stop loving this game. It's just, even though one of my buddies now has Cities of Splendor, I think he would still come over and we could still play this game. It's just something everyone universally loves. Some people don't like it, and that's fine. But for me, it's just a solid top 20 game. All right, number 16 has been bouncing around my top 20, top 10 forever. It came out with a dice version that sadly no one really liked. But long shot, I say no one really liked because it just didn't take off. You can find the dice game really cheap, and maybe you should get it because this game, the actual game, is pretty expensive now. And I wish that he would come out with the base game again, maybe with new horses, better plastic horses or whatnot. But they went. I'm not dogging it, but they went the cheaper route because maybe the game would catch on. They wouldn't have to pay that much. I get it, but for me, it just wasn't worth it. I never even bothered getting the dice game or the newest game. I have the old version. I still got it right when it was out of print, but some retailers still had some extra copies, and Amazon had slashed the price on this, and I bought the last copy they had at that slashed price. And I was so proud of that. My wife, this is one of the very few. I don't think you'll hear me say this on any other game. I don't think she's played any of my top 10. I don't think so. But I know this is a game she will always play with me. She loves this game. Everyone loves this game. You're betting on horses. You're buying horses. You're playing cards to get money, to put more money on horses. You don't even want your horse to win sometimes. Sometimes you want the other person's horse to win because if they win and you bet more on them than that horse, I do that strategy all the time. Someone keeps playing cards, make sure their horse wins. Sure, you can get the $100. Oh, by the way, I'm getting $240 because the whole time you've been playing cards to push your horse across, I've been placing a $5 bet on him. And his odds to win are in my favor, baby. And so when he crosses the finish line, they get $100 plus maybe the 40 they bet on him. And I got $240 because I bet a lot more on him. And people are kind of wising up to that strategy now because they've kind of figured out like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I don't want someone's tried to stop his horse from winning because he saw that I had way more money than he did on the horse. The game is super smart. I would suggest tracking down a copy. It may be a little expensive, but it's definitely worth it. Because it's kind of a slow racing game, but you are excited. You're yelling the whole way, and you're cheering the whole way, and you're screaming and cheering, and it feels like you're at the horse race. It's just great. It's great, so much fun, and it's even another game. This is like the third game I think that's been even. Now when we get the top 10, I may see that, but here still it kind of surprises me where I keep calling the shots. Of course, as we get higher up the list, it's probably a little bit more common. Anyway, number 15 soared through the rankings recently because boy do I love St. Petersburg. Now, this is a card game, Matt. It's a deck builder. In a way, it's a deck builder. Or not deck, but you're just a tableau or whatever it's called building. Matt, you don't like that. Yeah, I don't. That's usually not my game of choice, but this game is amazing. We've played it several times, so many times. I play with all the little extra modules, too. The one I love the most is the one that you put at the 20, 40, the different point stations on the board. Because if you don't meet those requirements, you can't go any further on points. And so it kind of forces you to deviate from your strategy to go make sure you do whatever the action is. But this game, it's auctioning, you're buying cards to get money, to get victory points, to enhance those cards you previously got. I got the little expansion deck for this recently and put that in there, and just more cards and more actions, and it's just Such a beautiful game. I've played it so many times now. I even like the markets. Someone can make a lot of money on the markets there. I didn't pay attention to it one time, and someone killed me in the market points. I was like, oh, I should have bid more on the market or gotten more cards in the market. And this is another one that definitely needs a reprint. I don't think it has a reprint right now, and copies can be a little hard to find. Sadly, I have a second edition, but everyone loves the pictures of the first edition or whatnot. It doesn't matter which one you get. Get it. Get another one that's at this point. I know it's super expensive, or these can be expensive, but I think anything here from top 20 on is well worth it. But I will give you one that is not expensive. It is still a cheap game. Every year it rises up through my list, and now it is knocking on the door to get my top 10. Folks, at number 14 is Mea Culpa, New Era. I love me some worker placement. This worker placement has it all, but on top of that, when I say different paths of victory, nothing could be made more clear than in this game. In this game, you have a choice. You can be a farmer and grow apples, wheat, grapes, or just a handful of them, maybe one or two of those. Or maybe you grow chickens. Maybe you grow sheep. Maybe you grow cows. There's strategies for all three of these. Maybe you train horses. There's a strategy for that too. And there's ways to get these bigger points on any of those strategies way down the road. So you can play for the long game and try to keep upgrading your supplies until you get these big point cards. Man, this game is amazing. It is amazing. I have played it so many times. I am still impressed by it. We try to play with the events deck, and I want to play with it, but I just keep forgetting to flip over the daggum event. But you're so engrossed in this game and growing your farm, whatever it may be. And people don't use the same strategy. You think people say, oh, this guy always uses, my nephew always grows chickens and cows. That's his thing. No, he switched up and he went farming. And then me, who I never grow cattle, I started training horses and herding cattle and pigs, or not pigs, but sheep and everything, and just started a brand new strategy. Because there's so many ways to get victory points, and you will move around the board, especially if you're playing with us. We played it for so long. But even at the end, it's still anyone's game. I remember I was way ahead, and if you get these big scoring cards, I think they're like 25 points each, and my nephew was about to pull off 2 of them. That means my 40-point lead was not going to be enough because he's going to get 50 points. And so I struggled to get 10. He got his 50 plus a bonus one. It beat me. Every time I played this guy, I got this game maybe 3 years ago, I want to say. And every time I've played it, I've just been more and more impressed with this game. And I remember after I played this game, I even thought, I said, is this a top 10 game? And so now that I'm making my list, not yet. But who knows? Who knows what will go? Because Mea Culpa, and a cheap game to get with a lot of good wood bits. Check it out. Mea Culpa, New Era. Number 13 is, I've denied this. I've said, no, people, it is not the Splendor killer you make it out to be. Yet now Century Spice Road has now beaten Splendor on my list. First time ever. Splendor has always been better than Century Spice Road. But to be fair, Century Spice Road has gradually moved up my list every year I've had it. I keep playing it, and I keep enjoying it. This year we played, I don't know which expansion we played most. Probably a New World, because I got the little promo little pad for it or whatever. So I think maybe we played that one more time at the end, but we each played them several times each. I will not combine them ever. I'm just not going to. I've forgotten the rules on that, and I just don't want to reread them again. But each game individually is so much fun. I don't know which my favorite is now. It goes back between, I think maybe the first one now, but sometimes Eastern Wonders. I just love Eastern Wonders too. And I mean, New World is worker placement, which is what I love. And I probably played this the most, though, too. So I don't know. But these Century games, and now they're coming out with a big box edition for it, and that's fine. I'm glad everyone can get it. I know everyone loves the Golem editions, and I'm sure they look really pretty. And I would have bought them, too. But when they came out with the first one, they said, we're not doing any more. But because Golem sold like hotcakes, then they made the Golem sequels for the other two. And those are very, very pretty. I would probably get those. But I'm happy with the ones I got. And I know they aren't going to make any more of these, but it's not too bad. I guess it's a well-done game. It's just a well-thought-out game. And finally on my list is going to beat out Splendor. I never thought it would happen. But again, I vote with my head, not with my heart when I rank these. All right. The next two are casualties. They got out of the top 10, but that's okay because you came close. This happens a lot. But this is the best Viking game in my collection. What is it? It is Raiders of the North Sea. Yes. Love me some Raiders of the North Sea. Worker placement where you're putting a worker down, taking a worker off, taking both of those actions. And I suck at it. I've done okay at times, but I've really been getting my butt handed to me a couple of times because people are really good at managing their crew and getting the right crew with the right bonuses. I'm kind of floundering around at first before I find my groove. It takes me a little bit longer than other people, and not through any fault of my own, but just I'm just so enamored, like, oh, I can do this right now. But just because you can doesn't mean you should. And so people usually establish a crew a lot faster than me and start going on the big raids, and then I'm trying to play catch up at the end. I play with all the expansions. I have the nice map for this too. This is Renegade Games' best game. I have looked at other games too. I'm slightly interested in Viscounts of the West Kingdom. That looks pretty cool. The new one, I can't remember what it's called, Wayfarers of the whatever. I want to play that one first. I think I get the gist of it, but I think I need to play that one first before I buy it. But I do love Raiders of the North Sea was like one of their first ones to come out, and it's still, to me, their best. Their best. All right, number 11 was also in my top 10. It drops just 2 spots out as well. It is Yedo. Oh, here it is. Yedo, right there. Yedo. Oh, I got a very expensive mini expansion for this. They came out with a reprint of this, and they put a little expansion in it. Jerks. But then it came live on their website, so I bought it. Had to pay just as much shipping as I did for the thing, and it's not much. It's a little bit of set collection in there and some extra player abilities. We played with it a couple of times because we play this game all the time. And the last two times I think we played it, we put this in there, and no one's gotten it. No, I think maybe one person got something, tried to do a set collection, but it really goes unnoticed, so it's not really needed. But Yedo as a whole, as your a team of assassins, I like to say ninjas, and you're trying to pull off these goals to get these victory points. The new version doesn't have something on the old version. A lot of people complain about it, but there's a card called Kill the Shogun. It's incredibly hard to do. In fact, it basically takes you the entire game to do it because you need everything. You need everything to pull it off, and you need to be extremely lucky because the board is very tight, and to get your people in every area that's required is very hard to do. And the old version said you won the game if you did it, and I agreed with that because I think it's so hard, and that you're going for the long game. It's worth it. If you're last place and you can kill the Shogun, I'm impressed. You should get it. But now it just gives you a bunch of points. And that's all it gives you now, just a bunch of points. And I don't like that because for me now, it's not worth killing the Shogun. I did it once because I feel like it's a rite of passage. Everyone must kill the Shogun once. And I did it because the moon's kind of a line, though. I slowly, gradually made my way and just had just about everything I needed for it. So it wasn't that much of a stretch to kill the Shogun. But I liked it better when you could win the game by killing Shogun because that is really hard to do. In fact, in my entire time playing it, I think me and one other person has killed the Shogun. Someone did. It was all in the new version. Someone killed the Shogun, and I'd never seen it done before. I was like, wow. And so then that's why I made it a goal to kind of do it, and I did it too. But Yedo. It doesn't need anything else. Don't add anything, mini expansions, modules, everything. It's perfect the way it is. But you should check this game out because it is a little slice of awesomeness. All right, gamers, that's it for now. But guess what? The top 10 is coming next. You do not want to miss it. Well, you won't be missing it if you saw the rest of these. Why wouldn't you watch the top 10? Okay, I'll see you next time.